What's up, everybody? So I am back with another comic book review, and we have yet another DC Compact comic. I have been absolutely loving this format. This one is Batman: The Long Halloween. That was the front. Here is the back. This one is by Jeff Loeb and Tim Sale. What a great read. But first, we're going to go ahead and jump into the stat sheet before we talk about it. So here we have Batman: The Long Halloween. It is in the DC Compact comic format. These have been phenomenal books. I hope they continue to support this format well into the future. There is 376 pages in this bad boy. This is a real chunky fella. I really like that because the retail price is $9.99 for all of the DC Compact comics. Great price, super affordable, and with 376 pages, it's pretty much a steal. So, great value here. And now, we're just going to get into the spoiler-free review. I'm going to go ahead and give it the score right off the bat. This one is a 9 out of 10, and I will tell you why it missed that 1 point, and it's only due to the ending, just this little bit right here. So, we will talk about that in the spoiler part of this review. But I just gotta say, this is a phenomenal read. It follows Batman. He is trying to discover who the killer is for these killings that have been popping up, and they have been popping up on holidays. So all these victims have been, they've been killed on holidays. They're trying to discover who it is. It's focused on him, Jim Gordon, Harvey Dent. They're kind of trying to solve this whole mystery and figure it out. The antagonists in this are the Falcone family, the leader, who they call the Roman, and then a bunch of villains from Batman's Rogue Gallery appear in this as well. And man, it is so awesome, and the art in here is phenomenal. The Joker appears. Let me show you this one scene. Even my friend at work, he was talking about it. It's an absolutely awesome spread. And he talked about how it looked like yin and yang, and I didn't even think about that, but it is right here. Look at that. That is sick. Batman and the Joker, yin and yang. What a beautiful layout that is right there. That's so awesome. The art in here was great. It's dark, it's gritty. I love the tones in here, the color palette. Some of it seems muted, but look, some of it's all just sometimes one color on the page. Just black and another color. It's so good. Phenomenal artwork. Love it. Easily a 9 out of 10. But in order to really get into the meat and potatoes of this, I will have to start doing spoilers, so we will move on to that next. But if you just wanted the spoiler-free review, 9 out of 10, pick this up, read this. This was amazing. Okay, so we're going to jump into the spoiler version of this review. With this, it takes place in Gotham, in the first time that a killing happens is right around Halloween. And you've got Harvey Dent, Jim Gordon, Batman. They're all trying to do whatever they can to keep the streets of Gotham safe. They're trying to keep crime low. But even Gordon kind of makes a remark in this book at one point that the population of Arkham has almost doubled since the arrival of Batman in Gotham. And Batman was like, do you think that I'm the cause of this? Is that what you're saying? Is that what you're alluding to? But it was just one of those things where they are just getting so frustrated. Like, they put a criminal behind bars only for another to take its place. And then some of these people that they're putting behind bars are getting re-released back out into the system. It's wild. It's such a good story. You can see the frustrations mounting because Gordon and Harvey, they're just basically just regular dudes. Batman's also kind of a regular dude, but I mean, not really. He's Batman, dude. You can't mess with Batman. So they're frustrated. Harvey is taking kind of a darker approach. He's even saying things like, he wishes some of these criminals were dead. They would deserve it. It would keep the streets safer and cleaner. And, Gordon having that, awesome moral compass just always pointing north. He's like, don't talk like that. We're above that. We do things by the book. We do things the right way. And that is why I think Batman and Gordon have such a good respect for each other because, they're doing everything they can to keep the streets safe, and they're not compromising their values in order to do it. It's awesome. This book is dark, it's gritty, it's so well done, and when these killings start happening, immediately you start trying to guess, like, who is it? Like, who's the killer? It focuses on the Falcone family. The guy who is the head of it, I forget his name, but they call him the Roman. Killings start to happen, and at first his nephew dies. And then you're like, oh, okay, well that was weird. But then another killing happens, and these are happening on holidays, and they're trying to figure out who it is. Eventually, they have started to be dubbed as the Holiday Killer. So who is Holiday? You start to guess, who could it be? But as they're trying to go on this quest to find out who this killer is, you start to see like the slow downward spiral of Harvey, and he's like slowly changing over time. And immediately I'm like thinking, dude, it's got to be Harvey. Harvey is the Holiday Killer. Well, this thing goes through so many twists and turns, so many things pop up. There's so much action going on, whether it's between Batman and Catwoman, or Poison Ivy, or Scarecrow and Mad Hatter. So many things are happening. It is so good, and the storytelling is phenomenal. But I will just cut to the very end of this book because I don't want to ruin too much, even in the spoiler section. I want you to read it because it is that good. I will, however, give away the ending. So if you stuck around for the spoiler review, but you still aren't sure if you want to hear how the ending is, turn off now. This was a 9 out of 10, like I said before. Check it out. It's phenomenal. What a great read. The ending of this book. Oh my God. It went through so many twists and turns to find out who the killer is, or if you guessed right who you thought Holiday was. Dude, this was sick. At the end, a confession is made, and Alberto Falcone, the son of the Roman, confesses to being the Holiday Killer. What a crazy ending, right? No, there's more. So, this whole time you're watching like this slow descent of Harvey Dent, and then he's finally in a court case trying one of the Maroni family. He gets acid thrown in his face, and this is that point, that turning point where he starts to become Two-Face. He flees the hospital, goes into the sewers. He's basically snapped at this point. He runs into Solomon Grundy. He gets attacked by him at one point, but then he starts reciting the same poem that Solomon Grundy's reciting. So it's wild. Harvey eventually comes back as Two-Face and starts killing the rest of these people. It is wild. He actually kills the Roman in this big, huge setup where you see Two-Face has gathered a ton of the rogues gallery of Batman. He's got Joker, Poison Ivy, Catwoman, he's got the Mad Hatter, he's got Scarecrow. There is a ton of people. He's got Solomon Grundy with him too. Dude, everybody popped up at this dude's house. It was wild. It was so good. And so then he's like, all right, well, there were two killers. Okay, and then you think, well, so was Harvey one of the killers? And then later past that point, Gilda, Harvey's wife, starts to say something as like she's burning belongings and evidence that was left in the basement of their house that they got. And she's like confessing to stuff. So you're like, were there three killers? This was the only part of the book that threw me. And I just wish that we would have had a decisive conclusion. Just something that wrapped it up, something concrete. Not one of those things that kept you guessing through the whole book and then kind of wrapped things up at the end. Because you're like, all right, well, Alberto Falcone, he did some of the killings, or at least he confessed to them, and that's the way they leave it. And it was like, okay, So you knew one of the holiday killers. But then they were saying, well, you didn't think that there was just one, did you? And then you're like, okay, well, so then it was Alberto and it was Two-Face, right? Well, but then Gilda starts saying stuff. So who was it? Was it one person? Was it two? Was it a combination of the three? Who knows? I don't know. If you have a better understanding of the ending of this book, if you've read it, please let me know. Because I started to waffle at the end there. I was like, as soon as I read the Alberto thing, I was like, all right, well, we found out who the killer was. It was the son, which seemed like, you know, totally believable because of the way his father just never included him, never had him a part of the family, never did stuff with him or acknowledged him or, you know, respected his abilities or talents. And the dude apparently is a fucking little mini genius. So such a great spot right there, only for the mystery to continue even after the book ends. It's so wild, but yet I couldn't put it down. I couldn't put it down. This was such a page turner. I had a ton of fun with it. I highly, highly recommend it as one of the better DC compact comics. And look at it. Dude, look how chunky this is. You can't tell me you're not getting your money's worth with this. $10? $10 for a big copy right here like this. And I loved the art in this. The art was phenomenal. I'm telling you, the story, an absolute page turner. This was a banger on all accounts. You add it to your library. It's a must. It's an absolute must. And the only reason I gave it that 9 out of 10 was because, like I said, I just wanted a real nice conclusion, a solid wrap up where everything was kind of, you know, put a ribbon on it. Just put a nice little bow on it, call it quits. It could have just stuck the landing, but I feel like that whole keep you guessing at the end thing was a little unnecessary, but nowhere near like taking me out of the enjoyment of the book or ruining the experience for me. So absolutely phenomenal. 9 out of 10. Thank you for sticking around this long to check out the review. I can't recommend this book highly enough. If you stuck around this long, please go ahead and subscribe to the channel. It would be a huge, huge help, and I appreciate everyone who has been subscribing and checking out these videos. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for the support. I hope to continue to put out stuff that you know, earns your views and that you're enjoying. So I really appreciate it. And you know what? Leave me a comment if you feel like there's some sort of geek stuff that you want me to cover that I haven't covered yet. Please, please, please let me know. My geek interests are vast. I love a lot of geek stuff. So maybe I just haven't thought to make a video about something. And if you're curious to see something, just let me know, and I'll be able to hopefully turn out a video for you. But thank you so much. Leave a like, comment, subscribe, all that good jazz. And I will catch you guys on the next one. Go pick up this book. Go pick it up. It's so good. Peace.